time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code TRAFFIC25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code TRAFFIC25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code TRAFFIC25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code TRAFFIC25.
On the next numbers game, Gil Alexander back from a beautiful beach vacation. We'll catch up with Gil on everything that he's been betting during his time off. NFL futures, probably plenty of tennis for us to discuss. We'll also hit on MLB best record and MLB home run leader, where things are getting a little tight. Also, we will talk to Wes Reynolds, catch up on golf. Paul Sporer joins us for his normal spot on Mondays to go through the baseball card. All that on the next numbers game, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific.
This is Live Bet Saturday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome back into Live Bet Saturday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. He's Will Hill. I'm Grace Remington. We were talking about the news of the day earlier in the show with Aaron Judge hitting the IL. He's dealing with an elbow issue, not a tear in his UCL yet, although the injury he's dealing with can lead to that. That's why they're letting him rest. Hopefully it goes away, but the plan is to DH him, and then he'll gradually start throwing again. But it still is interesting to look at the futures markets, because the Yankees, depending on where you look, are still, at DraftKings, they're still the favorite to win the AL. Now I'm seeing at FanDuel, they have the fourth shortest odds. To win the World Series at FanDuel, they are 10-1, which is probably the longest they've been in quite some time. But still, the market says they're still in it. They're not the only team scuffling, of course, though. The Yankees have lost 7 of their last 10 games. The Detroit Tigers, who were the best team in the AL in the first half of the season, they've lost 11 of their past 12 games. They've won just once in the past 17 days. So, Will, what do you think? Are these slumps real? Or can these teams come back from it?
Yeah, I think that the easy answer with any of this stuff, truth is usually somewhere in the middle. Remember, Detroit before the season, their win total 79.5, 80.5, in that range. This was not supposed to be a dominant team. They got hot at the end of last season, made a run, beat Houston in the wild card. And then
why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST, F, face drooping, A, arm weakness, S, speed.
Both those guys are hurt. Stanton missed a lot of the year, and they lose Juan Soto, and they piece it together with Bellinger and Goldschmidt, and those guys played well for a time, but this is not that great of a team. Again, I think if you have a healthy Aaron Judge with Fried and with Rodon, some of the other pieces, it's still a pretty good team, but it's hard to be optimistic about the Yankees. And you could say, all right, best case scenario, get him back in 10 days, he'll DH, then he'll start to play the field. There is no guarantee he comes back in 10 days. There's no guarantee he comes back in 10 days healthy. So I would not make any optimistic bets here for the Yankees. If you think you're getting a better price or you're going to buy low, I'd wait to see him back. To me, under on the Yankees wins if and when it pops up, which I would imagine it would over the next day or so. Yankees to miss the playoffs, depending on a price, you still need a nice plus price to do so. I'm very pessimistic, much more pessimistic on the Yankees. I think Detroit bounces back. They've got Skubal. They basically have an automatic win or thereabouts every 5 days to hang their hat on. And the Yankees don't really have that. And Fried has not pitched well here recently. So to me, Detroit much more likely to bounce back. What do you agree with, disagree with from what I said?
I am just inclined. It's one of those things. I think sometimes you just have to trust the product. And the Yankees are a perennial contender. The trade deadline hasn't passed yet. So who am I to fade the New York Yankees? I did fade them preseason, that win total. But I won't be doubling down. I mean, they just have too many resources to put it together. And they're still very much in the wild card race. Right now, they have the first wild card. So I don't hate to miss the playoff bet. You can certainly hedge that later. Tigers are interesting because over the last 2 weeks, they rank 30 out of 30 in hitting and 30 out of 30 in team ERA. So it's just a total meltdown. But I do think, similar to sports betting, baseball is a sport of swings, and you kind of just have to ride the highs and lows. And we know the talent is there, so I can only assume they'll bounce back. But love the point about Skubal being an automatic win every 5 days. That is very true. Speaking of Skubal, I may have cursed our second inning no hit, but what I did not curse is Matthew Boyd's Cy Young chances. If you are a Live Bet Saturday listener, you'll remember probably 3 weeks ago at this point, I gave out Matthew Boyd to win the Cy Young at 250 to 1. He is now down to 60 to 1. So you're welcome if you were listening to that episode.
Were they offering you a cash out?
Let me see.
It's usually a rip-off, the cash outs, but
it is.
A bet like that. That's why I think you've made this point before where you make, if you like something like that, a real long shot, you make two separate bets where one of them you can have a cash out option and the other one you can just kind of let it ride. That's not the worst thing. Again, I very rarely would recommend a cash out because they're just so often either there's a better way to hedge. With this one, I'm not sure there is a way to hedge it. There really isn't. Mm-hmm. But a lot of these, whether it's a future or something, you're better off letting it ride unless it's life-changing money. Either letting it ride or find some other way to hedge it, as opposed to use a mark, an exchange, something like that, as opposed to getting ripped off by the cash out.
It's not letting me cash out on FanDuel, but I did split my wager at several sportsbooks, so I have to log in later and check that. That's something I learned the hard way last season, although it did end up working out for me. So I'll give this as an example, but I had bet the Royals to win the division at 25 to 1 in February, I think. And by time that market closed, opening day, they were 5
Forever.
to 1. And you'll
the
remember
forest is closer than you think. Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. It's easy.
But I did cash out my tickets. They gave me a 9 to 1. So I still consider that a win because I beat the closing odds. But that was one of those moments I learned, okay, let's split up my ticket next time because then I'll take the cash out and then let the other one ride. But yeah, definitely recommend that. I was betting some Heisman today and was able to split up that ticket. The FanDuel does offer cash outs there. But I did want to go back to Matthew Boyd because so he was 250 to 1 all the way down to the bottom of all the AL pitchers. And I thought that was absurd looking at his statistics. He's now 60 to 1 among the top 7 pitchers on the odds board. So much more respectful to him. But he is one of 6 pitchers with 11 wins this season. He is one of 7 pitchers with 14 quality starts. He has the 4th lowest ERA at 2.20. I mentioned this before. The only thing hurting him could be his strikeout upside.
It's coming in the mail.
I'll have
anyways,
to.
You wonder if this Joe Lido is a real guy. He's too good.
I know he has
real,
108 strikeouts, but I want to see where that is. Okay, it's tied for 33rd. So I mean, still high, but sometimes I just wonder if the voters, they just kind of get caught up in the flashy stats. That could be the one thing holding him back. But I mean, you tagged me in some of these tweets on Twitter. People are finally starting to talk about Matthew Boyd for Cy Young, and it feels good. I just got to say, it feels good. So there's that.
Yeah, you got something at 250 to 1 that probably shouldn't have been 250 to 1. Doesn't mean it's going to win. Doesn't mean it's likely to win or anything. But just picking off a number that you thought was mispriced, and you did a good job of finding one. So hopefully, for your sake, it gets home. That's the tricky part. It's step 1 is finding a number that's mispriced. Step 2 is actually getting the bet home. And step 2 can be very tricky sometimes, but you're in a good position for sure. By the way, we are in the 3rd inning here. Detroit and Toronto, 1 out in the top of the 3rd. 8-9-1 due up, so this might be an inning to play Scooball under hits, but I think we already have one out in the inning, so you're going to miss the number there. You're going to have to lay a lot of juice, but this would have been a decent spot here to maybe play Toronto under hits for the third inning if you tailed the first two and you're 1-1 and you want to turn a profit. But again, there's one out here. So the pitchers duel we expected is shaping up, at least so far, as we are scoreless in the third. And I don't think Detroit, who has not been hitting well, I don't think Detroit has a hit yet. I think it's been 6 up, 6 down for Gossman. And Scooball's been pretty good too. 6 out of the 7 he's retired. So not much offense here going for either team as of yet.
No, and wow, Scooball already up to 4 strikeouts. So good thing I did not actually play that one. I think Kevin Gossman was 4.5, and he's at 2 strikeouts. Yeah, we love a pitcher's duel. Gosh, we only have 1 minute left in this segment. I wanted to get another baseball play in here. Everything is so packed at the end of the day. I have a play on Nats Twins. I don't know if I'm going to squeeze it in. We have time.
Go.
Minnesota, first 7, team total over 4.5 at plus 115. We're going first 7, not the full game, because if the Twins are leading at the end of the game, you lose that 9th inning chance for more runs. You want to bet full complement of outs, just so people know. Minnesota is top 4 in hitting since the start of July against lefties. They're playing Mitchell Parker for the Nats. This is only his 2nd season in the MLB, and he has not been good. He has a 5.0 ERA, 5.51 expected, 5.10 expected FIP. At one point, he was in danger of losing his starting rotation spot. He's still here somehow, but he's given up a 50% hard hit rate, which is just really bad. So we're going to back the Minnesota Bats in this one. Coming up next, we are going to send you off with our best bets. Don't go anywhere. This is Live Bet Saturday on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Big year. I'm starting middle school.
Welcome to the jungle, Missy.
Best part? My parents promised me a new laptop.
Perfect for homework, essays, and drudgery.
So we went to Staples. They had all the latest tech, and laptops were up to 40% off.
Woo! Another back-to-school budget saved by Staples Easy Button.
Mom high-fived the cashier. So embarrassing.
Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. In 23 select models only.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, this is Grace Remington for VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Ashton Jeanty may be the favorite for Offensive Rookie of the Year, but VSiN host Tim Murray is rolling with another running back. Steelers' third-round pick Caleb Johnson at 40-1. Johnson rushed for over 1,500 yards and 21 touchdowns at Iowa last season, and with Najee Harris gone, there's a real path to RB1 in Pittsburgh. Get access to VSiN Pro for football season, plus the VSiN NFL betting guide, all for $175. Go to VSiN.com/subscribe.
This is a message from Lasso Injury Law, and it's something Attorney Al Lasso hopes you really think about. These days, there are more drivers than ever on Nevada roads with expired tags, fake plates, or no insurance at all. If one of them causes a crash, if one of them crashes into you, who's going to pay for your medical bills? Your lost wages? Your future? The person who pays the price could be you. That's why Al Lasso wants to remind you, check your auto insurance policy today. Make sure you have uninsured and uninsured motorist coverage. It's protection you can truly save you from financial disaster if the worst happens. This isn't about selling insurance. It's about looking out for you and helping you stay safe. If you ever need advice or help after a crash, Lasso Injury Law here for you. 702-625-8777. That's 702-625-8777 for your free consultation. You won't get a voicemail. You'll reach a team that's ready to help. Lasso Injury Law. They fight for you because your future matters.
And we welcome you to Lakewood, Ohio's Western Reserve Radio, as part of the iMedia One Network. We're proud to bring you Week 8 of the PAFL season, the finale, as the Cleveland Cobras get ready for the playoffs coming up here. They'll be fighting for position as they get ready to host the Youngstown Patricians. And for the Patricians, it will be win or go home. Hello, everyone. Jim Craven with you, along with the coach, Bob Gessler, as we get ready to bring you this Week 8 of the return of the PAFL season. Coach, overall, not a bad season to speak of here. A lot of parity in the league. We saw some great games here. And for the Patricians, they started out a little bit hot. They've cooled off here in the second half. For the Cobras, they started off cool, 0-3, but they have gotten better in recent weeks. So two teams trending in different directions.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, the Cobras have done a nice job in this stretch, and this is what they needed to do. They caught their breath in mid-stride as they were coming down to this last game, and absolutely, they look very good last week, and let's hope they continue here because, they don't want this to slip away. They want to stay, I believe you say, if they win this game, third seed.
Our understanding is if they would win today, they would be the third seed in the playoffs. If the Patricians win by more than 16, they would become the third seed. The Cobras would fall back to 4. So something to play for both teams here. Cobras most likely on the road as well. But for the Patricians, a little bit more dire. Again, win and you're in.
Yeah, and that's going to be there's got to be a bit of an emergency here in them, and they have got to be able to play. Don't make mistakes. Get in there. Do what you got to do. Again, the one who makes the least mistakes is going to win this game because I believe they're fairly matched up. So this is going to be very, very interesting.
These two teams met 2 weeks ago in North Jackson, Ohio. The Cobras get the 24-9 win. And for the coaching staffs, you now have film there. You actually playing them. You see what you did wrong. So for the Youngstown Patricians, you see you were down 24-9. You had some struggles there. Some brief moments there working to the outsides there. We saw some great movement there. They kind of got away from that. If you were Coach Tom Harris for the Patricians, what are you changing from week 7 to week 9?
Well, my opinion to that is you got to go to your strengths. Test the waters inside. If that's not working, then you got to run that outside or maybe run some zone or some off-tackle stuff. We know that Little John's in the middle of there, and he's all over the place. So I got to think, test the water, see what you got, maybe some short passes, loosen them up a little bit and try to open up that running game. But you know me, Jim, I'm going to run the ball first, then throw the ball. So that's what they should be doing. But, again, that's why I'm up here and I'm not down on the field.
You talked defensively about the Cleveland Cobras last week. They dropped one at 30-24 to the Cleveland Rams, a game they trailed 30-10 at one point going into the half. They fight back. Time runs out on them with 3 minutes left. They have the ball, can't convert on 4th down. However, saw something from Cleveland last week. When you're going into the playoffs, you want to have that calmness. You want to have that mindset. They never really panicked, put some points up in the second half, and had that opportunity in the fourth quarter to knock off the number 1 3-18.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I really thought they were going to go down there and get that one. But, unfortunately, it just didn't work out for them. But I'll tell you what, they really had their stuff together. As you said, they did not panic. And there's no reason for it. They had plenty of time to make that drive. But, unfortunately, some of the plays that they called, they just didn't convert on it. So I'm sure that this week they're going to do what they do best. I'm sure they're going to throw the slants and run the ball, and I know the defense is going to show up because they have gotten so much better as it progressed.
Along those lines, you talk about the slants, and then we'll talk about Matt Wise with the catches last week from Dave Slap Thompson. Really started to open things up, but the run game was there as well. It was really balanced. Yeah. And, again, we've seen that evolution from the Cobras going into that Week 9, that Week 1 playoff that you really kind of want to see. You want to peak at the right time, and so far it looks like they're headed in that direction.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, they're excited. The guys want to get this, and again, they want to win this for their owner, for Jesse Caldwell. So, this will be very interesting. I expect the Cobras to come out of here with a win, but you never know what happens on a football field.
Yeah, certainly. Again, this is hard to beat a team twice here. Plenty of film here to look at from Week 7 there in North Jackson, Ohio. And the game not really that close, but a good game nonetheless. However, again, for the Patricians, they are at dire straits right now as they started off hot. but they need to pick up that win defensively for the Cleveland Cobras. You even mentioned it. You talked about Robert Littlejohn and that second on that defense. The front three, they were in a three-man front last week, played very well. Linebacking core played well. And if it wasn't for the quarterback for the Rams extending those plays, the secondary had a really good game last week.
They really did. But you know what? The problem lies with that three-man front. You know, box him in. That's why I think they should have went to a four-man. But, again, it was working for him. But they needed to bottle that quarterback up, and he absolutely killed him. He had to be well over 100 yards rushing at least.
Yeah, Anglin for the Cleveland Rams. Outstanding game last week. Made it very entertaining as the Patricians and the Cobras on the field as they warm up here on what should be a very warm day here in Lakewood, Ohio. Had some rain move through here. The temperature dropped for a little bit. Sun came back out, and we are right back up to hot and humid here at the end of July. We're going to step aside for a timeout. When we come back, pregame show will continue here on Western Reserve Radio, all a part of the iMedia One Network. We're back on the other side.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier. Then make sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered.